Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coffee and Sports in the Morning here on Wider Network. I'm one of your castmates, Mr. William D. Morgan, and I have a cast of thousands with me tonight. First, let me go ahead and bring in the NFL genius, my man Gene. Gene, what's up, brother? There you go. There you go.
Go Birds,
There
baby.
you go. There you go.
Listen, winning a game in which you felt like your team was going to lose is so much sweeter than winning a game that you knew your team was going to win. I just want to say that out loud because that matters.
I feel on it.
Like when we beat up the Little Sisters of the Poor, I don't, but watching that game last night and having the expectation of losing the game and then winning, feeling good.
Definitely beat a quality team last night. That is for sure. Next up, as you can see, old school NFL. My man Mo Better. Mo, what's up, man?
Hey, good morning. What's going on, Will? What's up, Key, Gene, chat? Let's go.
We're going to do this thing this morning here on Coffee and Sports. And I got to bring my girl Key on in here. Key, what's going on? How you doing?
Yo, what is up? I'm back. I'm off today. That's why.
There you go. There you go. Good to have you here with us. Good to have you here with us. All right. Gene, if you don't mind me, I'm going to go ahead and get into some WWE real quick.
I don't mind at all. The time is... Listen, your time is up. The time is now. You can't see me.
Yes. John Cena last night. Monday Night Raw was probably the best Raw I've seen in ages. We had John Cena last night capture the last title that eluded him from Mo's guy. We all know Mo loves Dom. But he went on. John Cena got the Intercontinental Championship last night. Last match in Boston. Let me go around the room. Key, I'll start with you. What did you think about John Cena getting this last leg of the Grand Slam?
So I was watching the Eagles game, so I didn't see it live, but I went back and watched it. That was the only title he's never won in his 20-some odd year in the WWE. He's never won any kind of the title, which I thought was wild to me. But I'm glad they pushed it. They pushed it on him. So he's now Grand Slam champion. He can put that along with that resume of his that he has. So I'm glad he won it. The thing is now who's he going to lose it to? Because he's not keeping it. So that's going to be another top question for another day. But I'm glad he finally got that title he never won.
Me too.
Whoever wins that tournament's where he's going to lose it.
Yep. I was just about to say that. Yep. Let me go to my man Mo. Mo, you've been calling for this match for ages, and we finally got it. What are your thoughts about that match last night?
Look, it was a great setup, great match. And look, Dom is already showing you he's got some old school in him because he knew Cena's going out. I don't think he had any problem at all giving up the belt. Like it's a great setup. We've been talking about this for the better part of the last month or so on Meaty Boys about John Cena going up against Dom, getting the one belt that's eluded him his entire career. It's a great high to go out on for John Cena. And it's a great look for Dom. Dom lost, but in that loss, it's one of those losses that elevates Dom. So I enjoyed the match thoroughly.
Gene, we'll finish this topic up with you. What were your thoughts about that match last night?
Bro, I got to give Dom credit. I watched the intro because it was like right before Monday Night Football. And I knew it was going to happen. It was so predictable, but in the same sense, it was right. Yeah. And I got to give Dom credit. He put on a good match. I love the Eddie Guerrero tribute that they kind of did with the chair, and they both fell down. That was hilarious. I felt like it was fun. I felt like it was a great celebration of John Cena's career in Boston. So it was the perfect spot to do it, perfect time to do it, and it kind of sets up that tournament being for nothing, just being the last person to wrestle against John Cena. Wasn't very appealing to me. Now that tournament being for the Intercontinental Championship now makes a little bit more sense.
Yep. And the only thing that I thought would have made it better, and I was switching back and forth too, so if y'all saw it, please correct me. I thought R-Truth should have been there.
What do you mean? Like in Boston?
Yeah, he should have been there somewhere involved in that because that's supposed to be his quote unquote childhood hero. He wins the last part of the Grand Slam, and I didn't see him.
I
thought it would have been great.
He's been there throughout the entire retirement.
Yeah, I just thought it would have been cool to see him on camera. We got him with Cody toward the end, so that was cool. And To see 2 title champions on Raw is just an incredible thing. We had the Kabuki Warriors last night defeat Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Gene, I'll stick with you. What did you think about that match?
I'm shocked that they took the titles off of Charlotte and Alexa as early as they did. I think that'll be a WrestleMania match, Charlotte versus Alexa, and I wanted them to take the titles off of them when one turned on the other. I feel like that it was way too soon, and I don't know. Just it was one of those things where it felt like it was unnecessary. You could have had the interference. I know they're setting up women's war games, but I will say this: if Charlotte and Alexa wanted to be taken as a long-term tag team, they needed to stop coming out with separate intros.
Yeah.
They needed to have their own tag team intro. And I think it was very evident when Charlotte came out with the Queen this year, and then Alexa came out when the Kabuki Warriors came out together. So I don't know. I think women's war games is getting set up in the worst possible way. I think they did a very shitty job of building up to war games. The men's war games isn't much better. So I'm not excited about this year's war games at all.
Key, I'll go to you. What was your thoughts about that match? And should the Kabuki Warriors still be champions?
You mean Charlotte and Liv? I thought they worked well together. As long as we don't see Charlotte in the women's contentions right now, I think the fans will be happy. Because right now they're cheering Charlotte just for that reason. As long as we don't put her in the title contention right now, or if you're going to put her in the title contention, you're going to get her to put the other person over. You're not necessarily going to get her to win, because I don't think she should win one right now. Do I think she should be champion? Of course, not right now. Later on, no, they can put it back on her. But I can see where this is going. Somebody's going to turn on somebody, whether it be Alexa turn on Charlotte, or will Charlotte go back being heel? I think we've seen Charlotte be a heel, and I think it's time for Alexa to turn on Charlotte. So just to make that interesting, I don't think Charlotte should turn on her. I think it should be a Liv thing. Liv. This is why the Liv Morgan might be on her way back if I keep saying Liv Morgan.
Alexa,
Alexa,
I'd be happy to see that.
Turn on
Let's
Charlotte.
Go.
I think that's going to, but no, I don't think they should have took them off so early. And plus, especially with Asuka and Kairi, they got their own little situation too. I feel like Kairi is stuck because she got to listen to Asuka, and that's going to be interesting too. Kairi going to be get sick of her SHIT too, and be out. So that's going to be interesting too.
Oh, you know who the fifth member of that women's war games is going to be, right? For both sides. Very obvious.
Yeah.
You know who it's going to be?
It's going to be Punk versus Division.
Women's.
Women's.
Rhea and Io, along with Charlotte and Alexa. Yeah.
That's 4.
Right.
There's 5.
I bet you Bailey.
I'm telling you right now.
It might be Liv.
It might be Liv.
They're already setting it up. They're already teasing it. Jade Cargill will be the 5th woman of the heel war games.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a returning Liv or Bianca as the 5th member of the
that'd be sweet.
war games.
Yeah, because
that will add that spice it needs.
Because Liv got issues with Raquel and Roxanne for the whole Judgment Day thing, and then if you insert Bianca, she's gonna have beef with Jade. So I can see either way.
Yep.
I can't see Liv teaming with Rhea. That's the only thing that just they haven't dead it what that was.
Mel, what you thinking, big dog, about that tag match? Should they have taken the belts off Charlotte and Alexa so quickly?
Too soon. I think they should have had a longer run. I know they're starting to build up for WrestleMania, but it's too soon. They should have had a longer run. I feel like they're rushing this. They could have done more of a story. That I guarantee it won't be Charlotte turning on Alexa. It'll be the other way around. But I will say this: she could turn on her during another championship match. Like maybe they'll get a rematch, they lose the rematch, and then she turns on her. But I think that's what's going to happen going forward. I thought they worked well too, Key. But Gene brought up a point. They still were performing like singles performers coming out to their own music. Yeah. So that kind of lets you know they were together, but never totally together. So yeah, I see where the storyline's going, and the fact that he brought up what's going to happen in War Games. I think he's spot on with that. You're going to get Liv or you're going to get Bianca. I'm kind of biased. I hope it's Bianca, but we'll see.
I agree with you, Mo.
Yeah.
I hope it's Bianca too, because
Yeah.
I think the lead up to Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania needs to start at War Games.
Mm-hmm.
Needs to start there. And listen, at the end of the day, I seen what they're teasing. Jade's one of her title defenses, and it better be successfully, will be against Charlotte. They've teased that for 4 months.
Yep.
And
Yep.
when those two are crossing paths, they teased it for 4 months. You better give me a good payoff to that.
Really, it's
You,
been.
you gotta have Charlotte put her over at this point because
You do.
right
You do.
now.
You
For
do.
right now, Charlotte doesn't need to win it. She has to put Jade over.
But
And
it
I-
works. It works. It works, guys, because Jade's a heel now. It works because
Yep.
Jade.
Yep.
Jade.
Yep.
When you're a heel, you've got a bigger bag because you can do more as a heel. If Jade were a face, it wouldn't work because of her
agree.
skill set. So it's perfectly set up now.
And I've never seen somebody take advantage of being a face as much as Charlotte has. This woman had everybody booing her for the longest. She became a face, and bam, overnight, she became a fan favorite. She embraced that role.
Yeah, as
That
long
was
as you
amazing.
don't put her in the title contention and put the
Yeah.
belt on her, the
Yeah.
fans are fine.
Yep.
It's we keep ramming this title down her throat. Every title defense, we get sick of it.
You can't be coming on the morning show talking about ramming shit. Ramming them. I'm like,
Ram
Jesus
him, grab him,
Christ.
ram him.
I'm gonna sip my coffee and shit.
Oh man, good stuff, good stuff. But yeah, Gene, that's all I got, bro.
Listen, I love it's 9:13. Perfect time. I say, I always say this, right? You cannot start the morning with the main event. You can't do it. You can't start. You got to get the appetizer in before the entree. Last night's football game, Eagles Packers, Monday Night Football. I got goods and bads. I got takeaways from both sides. But what I'll say is this. I'm so annoyed with listening to people discredit that football game. If you don't like if you don't like good football, just say you don't like good football. I understand that. Like I heard, I was on a TikTok live last night, and a guy goes, well, the Packers versus the Cowboys game was a much better game. It's Cowboys game. And I'm like, why? Because it was 37-37? Like, that's not good football. That's
They're both
bad
defensive
defensive
teams.
football. Last night, it wasn't like the offenses were awful. They weren't great. They weren't awful. They weren't like just tripping over themselves. And the defenses were incredible last night on both sides.
Mm-hmm. Both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Players made plays on both sides. And for the Eagles to figure out a way to go in the Lambeau Field and beat the Packers during their Super Bowl run, because that's their Super Bowl. They've been waiting for this game all year. Tush-push game, revenge game. It was everything to the Packers. To the Eagles, it's another team. Like next week's Detroit's Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but all these teams that wanted to crack at the Eagles after they won the Super Bowl, this is their moment.
Facts.
I felt like this football game was a great football game. I'm shocked that we got out of there with a win. I really did not expect that. I will give light to Evan Williams. And I just want to say this. Evan Williams, if you don't know who he is, you should know after last night. I mean, he is a safety for the Packers, and he played incredible football for them. He was everywhere. He was the one that had the peanut punch on the football. He was the one, he had 7 tackles. He had 2 TFLs. He was the one that one-on-one Saquon Barkley behind the line of scrimmage. He played incredible football. So I want to give credit where credit's due. Will, I'll start with you. What was your takeaway from that game?
Everything just fit. It was a windy game. And for to see those offenses go out there and be stymied by those defenses, I thought really the way that game was going, I didn't think the Packers were going to get on the board, but they ended up getting on the board. But yeah, I thought it was a tremendous defensive game. I have no problem with games like that. That's what I grew up under. Because I'm probably the oldest here. But that's what I grew up under. Tough defensive football games. Steel Curtain, Baltimore Ravens, back in the day, Ray Lewis and company. So last night was just a tremendous visit back to the day when you have a good defensive football game last night. I loved it. And if anybody's got a problem with it, you don't like good football. You don't.
Key, I'm gonna go to you last because you're a fellow Eagles fan. Mo, what were your thoughts on the game last night?
I loved it. I loved it. It took me back to those old Ravens Titans matchups where you had Ray Lewis matching up against Eddie George, and it's just collision, hard contact football. This wasn't about the offenses being inept. This is about the defenses playing at an elite level. The tackling, the hitting, the anticipation on routes. Like, I enjoyed it. Like I said, if you don't look at the scoreboard and you just watch what's happening, that's good football. That is good football. And you don't see a lot of that in today's NFL. I enjoyed it. It was a great game for me.
Key, when you watch that game, as an Eagle fan, I came away from that game. Obviously, I talked about Evan Williams, but as an Eagle fan on the defensive side of the ball, an unsung hero on that Philadelphia Eagles team last night was Nakobe Dean. I felt like he was everywhere. I felt like he played great football. He was the one that forced the fumble on Jordan Love when they were in field goal range. Key, what was your takeaway from that game, goods and bads?
The momentum killer was Jalen's fumble. That 15 play drive for over 8.5 minutes. That drive, and then for him to go fumble, that was a momentum killer right there. But the defense showed up and showed out. Jalen Phillips, one guy. He just got here. He said this was the most excited he's ever been in his whole career. It's because he's finally on a winning defense. He's on a winning team now. He can show out and be appreciated. I feel like Miami didn't appreciate him. Plus, when Vic Fangio was in Miami for that couple seasons, Miami was a top 10 defense. So he already knows the system. He knows how to play, and he fits it. He fits us so well because the way he was flying off every play, he was flying off the ball. You've seen him. He got off one man and tackled Josh Jacobs. He recovered the fumble that Nakobe Dean did. Dean was all over the place too. And then credit to the Packers secondary. Even AJ said it himself. They was playing great. They covered me. We couldn't do anything. So you can't force feed AJ Brown if he's not open. So they covered him well. So that left Devontae Smith open and what Jalen could do. But it was a very good defensive game. Again, defensive games, you're going to have low-scoring games like this. It's up to the offense to find that one play to have more points than the other team. Jalen said best, name of the game, you have to score more points to win. So 10-7 it is. I was just hoping and praying it wasn't like, the Pittsburgh game. I was like, oh, and I seen the almost safety. I was like, that could have been bad. I'm like, oh, no.
I knew that wasn't
yeah.
Immediately. I watched the referee throw the beanie, and as soon as he threw the beanie, I knew that was a touchback. A lot of football fans had no idea what was going on there.
I was just like, oh no. I was like, wait. I was like, that can't be a safety. I was like, wait, did he really touch that? And then I seen his foot. I'm like, oh no, he was good. Okay,
as soon as the defender touches the ball,
yeah,
you cannot have a safety.
Yeah,
you cannot. It's impossible. That's by rule, and nobody knows this in the NFL. And let me educate some people that are listening. By rule, people see this all the time. They have no idea what happens. When a defender goes down and touches the football on a punt return, the offense can return that ball. They can fumble it. They can lose it. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. The receiving team has the option to take the ball where it was first touched by Green Bay or take the advance, which is why it's basically a free play when a defender touches the ball on a punt return. That's why he picked it up and went, because you have an option. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until 2.5 years ago when I had to really kind of break down a play that happened in Jaguars versus Titans that happened on Thursday Night Football. It was very similar to that. I knew it was a touchback as soon as the official threw the beanie. I knew they were going to get it right. I had no problem with that. At the end of the day, Key, when you look at that Eagles team, I'll say this right now. I told you last night that offense was going to struggle. I am so glad I didn't cringe. I was cringing the whole time. Like, embracing for impact during AJ's post-game interview. And it was perfect.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, great. He didn't say anything stupid. Like, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
But,
he was good about it.
he was good. But the defense looked great. And if anybody's got a problem with the Eagles offense, tune in next Sunday. I guarantee you they put up tons of points versus Detroit. Tons. That'll be a high-scoring game. You could book the over for that game already. I'm on point with my team. I'm telling you, this next week will be a 55 over-under, and that'll get hit. But any other thoughts on Monday Night Football? I do find what Jason Kelce said before and on his podcast to be so accurate. Did you guys know the Buffalo Bills ran the tush push more than the Eagles this year?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw that. Yeah.
I find it humorous. The first, I guess the Packers ran like a quick quarterback sneak tush push where they jumped off sides. And then the Eagles ran a tush push where it was very obvious that they started early and neither one got called. And then the Packers did it again and they got called the third time it happened. But everything on the internet, see, you can't defend the play when the Eagles do it. They jump off sides. I'm like, I get it, but other teams are doing this. Other teams are jumping off side. Because we're so successful with it, I hear it way more often than we should.
I keep telling y'all the tush push is rated E for everybody. Everybody can use it. We just do it more efficiently.
All right. Well, we do have a couple games that we didn't talk about from this past week yesterday. We didn't get to them all. I do want to ask you guys this question. Now, I think the Commanders are cooked. They're 3-7. The Lions look really good in that football game. I found it interesting that Dan Campbell took over play calling. And then the next 4 or 5 play calls were designed specifically for Jameson Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Lions scored 40-something points. I don't understand where it came from, but Dan Campbell took over calling plays, and I felt like that should be a conversation. So, Mo, did you see how Dan Campbell took over play calling for Johnny Morton?
I did. I thought it was strange that he did that, but knowing how Dan Campbell coaches, his personality, I actually think that Dan Campbell thought that Johnny Morton was coaching too conservatively. I think Dan Campbell came out and wanted to be more aggressive, take advantage of his most explosive players like Jameson Williams. You watch Detroit play. Amon-Ra St. Brown is their best route runner, but their most explosive receiver is Jameson Williams. Amon-Ra St. Brown, actually, when you really watch him and his skill set, he's actually an underneath guy. He's a chain mover. He doesn't really beat you on deep routes. He beats you between the lines. That's his strength. So, yeah, I'm wondering, though, if he's going to take over play calling, what does Johnny Morton do?
I don't understand. And I guess a lot of head coaches that have offensive backgrounds call plays. Now, I've wished the Eagles for years had that. And I'm not telling you to fire Nick Sirianni, but like when you look at situations like Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay, you don't ever worry about them losing. You don't ever worry about them losing their offensive coordinator because you understand the offense is Kyle Shanahan's or Sean McVay's. When Philadelphia Eagles lose their offensive coordinator, like, oh, new offensive system's coming in this year because it's not Nick Sirianni's system. When Dan Campbell took over play calling, Will, what were your thoughts? I don't know if you've seen the second half of that game. Their offense was definitely more explosive.
He probably thought that when a coach takes over play calling, it's because he thinks that side of the ball is stagnant and predictable. So I'm thinking that's why he took it over. And he turned out to be right. Jameson Williams is an electric receiver, and he's a playmaker and can get things done. And I thought it was a good move for him to do that because he scored right a little bit after he scored. So he probably just thought the offense was stagnant on that side of the ball, and he took over. And we've seen it all the time.
I do want to talk to you guys about the 2026-2025 MVP award. Right now, as currently speaking, there are 6 names that are atop of the MVP ladder. The 6 names are Drake May and Matt Stafford, who are tied for first. Jonathan Taylor, who's jumped all the way up to third. Patrick Mahomes, who's fourth. Josh Allen is fifth, which I don't understand that. And then Sam Darnold is sixth. Who is your MVP 10 weeks into the NFL season, Mo?
Right now, today, I would say Drake May.
I'm with you.
I would say Drake May. And I love Jonathan Taylor, but I would say Drake May.
Cottrell said he'd go Stafford as of today.
I would too.
I love Stafford, but
I
think Drake May. Look, Gene points out something about Stafford, and I used to overgo on this, that his failures versus his successes. He's a tremendous quarterback, but it's not like Stafford doesn't. He's not one of those guys that doesn't have multiple 2 and 3 interception games, because he is. He's that guy too. I think Stafford's had a long, great career, but within the framework of this season, Drake May would be my number one, because he's not just a young quarterback playing at an elite level. His team is in a position to win the division that Josh Allen resides in.
Yep.
And then I wouldn't have a quarterback second. The second guy, to me, it wouldn't be Stafford. It would be Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is on pace to have the season that Saquon had last year.
Matthew Stafford's been incredible. I'll say this. I think that the stock on Matthew Stafford right now is as high as it'll ever be. If you look at his remaining schedule, he's going to face a lot of very good pass defenses. Key, who's your MVP 10 weeks into the season?
You got me. I cannot give it enough credit to Drake May and what that Patriots team is doing right now. Mike Vrabel got those guys disciplined, got them focused, got them ready. Who would have thought we would say the Patriots would be 8-2 right now and Buffalo would be in second place? But I did say before the start of the season, that the Patriots gets into the playoffs. I just say they got to beat more as a wild card, though. I just say they got to beat more games in Pittsburgh to get in, and they're division leaders right now. So got to give the Drake May. But I would not put Jonathan Taylor as a close second, for that too as well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so he said Stafford's having the best season of his career. He's not doing that this year. I mean, I guess if you don't count the 49ers or the Ravens game, not this 49ers, the first one. Right. And that's kind of get into is with Stafford. He's great, but there are games he has that are just absolute clunkers. And I feel like the whole NFL world just forgets about those games. He's been really good this year. I think he leads the league in touchdown passes.
22-2.
Do you think it's because he's such a fan favorite of the media that his failures get swept under the rug?
I don't think his failures get swept under the rug. I just think that when he has a bad game, we just glaze over. Whereas when Jordan Love has a bad game, you hear it on national media. When Jalen Hurts has a bad game, you hear it all the time. Lamar Jackson has a bad game, you hear it all the time.
Right.
I just feel like Matthew Stafford has a bad game. We're like, oh, Rams didn't play well today. It's like, okay, like we're just gonna forget that part. But
to be fair, don't they do that with Mahomes too?
They do. You're absolutely
correct. They do.
When Mahomes has a clunker of a game, they don't say he had a clunker of a game. They go, well, Mahomes can't do it all, or something like that. It's always somebody other than Patrick Mahomes is why he had a bad game.
And
we talked about that. We talked about that after the Chiefs-Bills game. Specifically. Patrick Mahomes was terrible in that football game.
Yeah. I get the Drake May love, because Drake May is not throwing to Puka Nacua. He's not throwing to Devontae Adams. So I get the Drake May love. I get that. I understand that.
All right. Well, let's move forward. Another game that kind of happened this past week that I guess I don't want to glaze over the game, but it kind of got glazed over already. And the Seattle Seahawks are just on another level. They were up 30, I think it was like 35-0 before the Cardinals blinked. Sam Darnold wasn't even good. He was 10 for 12 for 178, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. But their defense is on another level. And you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, who returned 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns in that football game.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the odds are for DeMarcus Lawrence scoring not 1 but 2 touchdowns in a football game.
Right.
Seattle looks like the best team in football. Are they peaking too early, or you think that this team has that staying ability? Like Cottrell said something earlier, and he said, "Am I the only one that doesn't see the Patriots as truly being championship contenders?" I thought I was the only one that didn't see the Seattle Seahawks as that until these last 2 weeks. I 100% see it. Mike McDonald has 100% transformed that defense. Seattle, New England could be the Super Bowl.
Could be.
Could 100% be the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on the Seattle Seahawks, man?
I just think they're a dominant defense. Their offense is a really good offense. When Sam Darnold hasn't been good, the running game has picked him up. Look at that division. I'm a Niners fan. The Niners are a good football team, but they're the 3rd best football team in their own division. Like, that's how good that division is. They're behind 2 teams that are probably better football teams than them right now. And I think Seattle has a legitimate shot to be the team that meets the Eagles in the NFC title game. That wouldn't shock me at all.
The 5th best odds to win the AFC is the New England Patriots. The Ravens are already ahead of them. Colts, Bills, Chiefs. The 4th best odds to win the NFC Championship game is the Seattle Seahawks, with the Rams, Eagles, and Lions ahead. Will, which one of those 2 teams do you think is a better bet?
If I gotta go with the AFC, I'm still looking at the Rams. I think I think the Seattle run game is not the best, but I think it's consistent. They're a good defensive football team. I love their receiving core. But with the way the Rams are looking right now and the way their defense is playing, I gotta go with the Rams. And over in the AFC, I'm gonna have to give up on my pick. I'm gonna have to give up on the Broncos. I'm gonna have to give them up, and I'm gonna have to go with the Colts. The way they're looking right now with that run game, yeah, I gotta go with the Colts.
So Seattle is the better bet of the 2.
Yeah, Seattle's better too.
Who's the better bet between Seattle or New England?
Seattle. Their defense is coming along great. They got JSN, and then they just got Shaheed, who's going to complement him over the top. They got 2 great running backs in Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet to complement each other. When they use Walker, if they don't use Walker, you got Charbonnet to back them up.
Yep.
They got a young rookie tight end in Arroyo as well, and then Sam Darnold, when he's not seeing ghosts, he's okay. He's good. So
you say not seeing ghosts?
Yeah, when he's not seeing ghosts, he's good. You don't remember that Jets game? He was like, I'm seeing ghosts.
I do.
So when he's not seeing ghosts, he can put up numbers. So I'm gonna say Seattle to safer bet.
We didn't talk about this yesterday, and I kind of wanted to get into it today. I watched that clunker of a Sunday night football game, and I am being completely honest when I tell you that might have been the worst football game I've ever watched in my life.
Oh yeah, it was trash.
I don't know if you're UFC fans, but like there was a UFC fight that happened like 3 years ago. It was Rose Namajunas versus the Cookie Monster, Carlos Esparza. And it was a 5-round fight that I think they threw a total of 27 punches. It was the worst UFC fight I've ever seen in my entire life. I am willing to stake the claim and say that Chargers-Steelers game was the worst football game I've ever witnessed in my life. That was the worst game I've ever seen in my life. Did anybody think that that Chargers-Steelers game was good? Aaron Rodgers looked like he was 55. He was terrible in that football game. And I'll give him credit. As a guy that calls out everybody else like it's their fault, after the game, he goes, I got to be better. I was terrible. Mo, when you watch that football game, I remember we were talking about a little bit yesterday. You're like, I just turned on the NBA. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Yeah. I couldn't take it. It was like they were putting a sleeper hold on me. It was rough. It was rough to watch. And look, I know this about Jim Harbaugh. When he's shorthanded, Jim Harbaugh wants to muck a game up. He wants that kind of football game that favors Jim Harbaugh because they are injury riddled to the T on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of game the Chargers wanted to play. The fact that they were able to bait the Steelers into it and just shut down the Steelers offense. By the way, the Steelers offense might be one of the most overrated offense in the NFL. They're not very good.
Nope.
They're not very good. They don't have an identity. They don't have a run game. The passing game comes and goes. But most of the time when their offense is good, it's directly related to their defense giving them the short side of the football field. Pittsburgh doesn't go on 75, 80-yard drives. They don't have that kind of talent. So I think they're vastly overrated. We talked about this weeks back. I think they will continue to come back to the pack in their own division. That division winner, 9 games to win that division.
I found this was just interesting. I want to kind of pass the baton after that terrible football game. Will, have you seen the lawsuit that came out recently in LSU with Brian Kelly?
Heard about
We
it.
talked about this on Monday.
Talked about it on Monday, yeah.
But no. This morning or late last night,
Mhm.
they formally filed a lawsuit
Oh my god.
against LSU.
Oh my goodness.
You got to hear this. Brian Kelly says, I was not formally terminated. He's never been formally fired. The school, according to the petition for declaratory judgment, is now seeking to fire Kelly for cause and potentially avoid paying the full $54 million buyout. The following claims LSU informed Kelly's representatives of this position Monday. According to a copy of the lawsuit obtained by ESPN, LSU representatives had a call with Coach Kelly's representatives where LSU took the position that Coach Kelly had not been formally terminated and informed Coach Kelly's representatives for the first time that LSU believed grounds for termination for cause existed. There's a 48-page lawsuit. So LSU wants to do anything they can to get out of paying this man $54 million. They said, we didn't formally terminate him. We're going to try to fire him for cause now.
They're going to lose.
They're gonna lose that one.
Gonna
They
lose.
losing that one. They losing that one. Oh
Lose.
my gosh, man.
I was so shocked when I seen this. LSU has so much boosters that firing a guy for $50 million feels like it's almost chump change.
Bro,
But, I don't
you
know. I know it's not, but it's kind of crazy.
bro, why you coming after me? What I do? What did I do? Oh my goodness.
I think this story is insane because there's a lot of petty on both sides now, right?
Yeah, it is.
This is about being petty now. But yeah, you can be petty if you want, but if you're LSU, this is a bad look for you. I mean,
Mo,
what
this
people
is
think of Brian Kelly is what people think of Brian Kelly. He's still going to get his money.
LSU is being Vince McMahon petty. That's what this is. That's Vince McMahon petty.
That line is perfect. LSU is making themselves unattractive.
Yep.
Facts. They are killing themselves. They're not hurting Brian Kelly.
I mean, you're not going to get Nick Saban to go
No.
coach your team after doing this shit.
Nope.
I don't think they're going to get Nick Saban anyway. But like when you're trying to draw a top coaching candidate, this is not going to be helpful.
No.
Key, your thoughts on the LSU debacle?
It's just great. It's a mess. It's a mess. At the end of the day, who's it going to be hurting? It's going to be hurting LSU and their integrity and everything. So it's a mess. You can't. I don't even got no words. It's just a mess.
Oh my god. But I think, but
Yeah.
I do want to say this real quick.
Please.
With LSU, and you pile it on top of this, you got a coach in the SEC. So that's gonna be another point of contention. But you dealing with a bad administration, coaching in the SEC, not any loss can get you done. It even compounds more to the fact that it's a terrible situation.
I couldn't agree with you more. I want to move on to the NBA. Mo, I know you're ready for this one. Last night seen a lot of really good basketball games. I mean, it was a great night on the hardwood. Give you an example. We'll talk about a few of them. But a double overtime game in Detroit where Cade Cunningham shot the ball 45 times. There was a game-winning buzzer beater in Orlando where Desmond Bain called game on a turnaround three. But I don't think there was any game that had a crazier ending than the Miami Heat.
Yes, that was
Cleveland
a great
Cavaliers, 140 to 138. The alley oop that caught with 0.3 seconds left. Mo, tell them what happened.
You know what? In football, they got a jerk route. So in basketball, there's a similar thing. Andrew Wiggins is supposed to be the primary screener, but he's actually who the ball's going to. Donovan Mitchell gets caught watching the ball, gets picked. Andrew Wiggins lobbed for the win with 0.4 seconds left. It was a great play call by Spoelstra and company, and executed to perfection.
I don't know if Key or Will, if you guys seen this, but it's worth a watch. It's an incredible play.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Great.
I didn't see it. I gotta watch it.
And look, another guy, and this is, first round pick out of Indiana. We get to watch him play, college basketball a couple years ago. Keely Ware, he was incredible last night for Miami. I think the guy had a triple double, or at least he was close. He had 20 boards. He was all over the backboard last night. Key, what were your thoughts on that Heat versus Cavs game?
It was insane, crazy how they pulled that off at the end. I know Donovan Mitchell kept hitting his threes, to bring him back in, and Heat was like, nope, we're not going down. So it was like, we're going to dial up one more play better than yours, and we're going to catch y'all sleeping. And sure enough, they did. Donovan Mitchell got caught, and it only takes 0.3 of a second that's it.
And I think he was still high on the fact that he had just hit a spinning three-pointer to tie it up with 0.4 seconds to play. And he was walking off, like that was game or something like that. They did a great job. That's Spoelstra recognizing who they're playing against, who they can catch watching. The guy they caught watching was Donovan Mitchell. Just a great call.
Why am I catching strays this morning? I ain't done nothing
to
nobody. I just woke up. Why I'm catching strays this morning?
Wow, Damien's going for it. Okay.
Oh well, I guess I'm getting myself out there. It's all good.
It took about a week for Victor Wembanyama to break out of his biggest slump ever. I mean, you're not catching strays. This is a direct bullet. Last night, the San Antonio Spurs and Victor Wembanyama went into Chicago, and Victor had 38, 12, 5 assists, 5 blocks, and called game down the stretch. The Spurs were down by, I think they were down by like 8 going into the fourth quarter. Won the fourth quarter by 13 points, and Victor Wembanyama was incredible in the second half of that basketball game. Will, did you watch that game? Did you catch any of it?
Yeah, and this shows you why the Bulls are a bad basketball team. I get where Mo's coming from, though, with Joski. I understand that. But as a team themselves, losing focus like that, you can't have that. You can't have that. And it's a bad matchup anyway. The Bulls have nobody, and there's very few people in this league that can cover Wemby one-on-one. Bulls ain't got nobody that can do that. Nobody. So it was a bad matchup. We had the lead, lost focus, and lost the game. So thank you. Thank you, Damon. Thank you. That's the first time you've ever agreed or something in a long time.
I mean, they're 6-4. They're not going to fire Billy.
They're not going to fire Billy Donovan.
Not right now. They won't. Not right now. They won't. But when they get to the playing game, like my boy Ando says, we get down to the playing. They'll get him. They'll get him.
Just extend. He won't be fired this year.
But it's a bad basketball team, and it was a shame that we did get that L. But it's a bad matchup, and I expected it. So it's all good.
Let me just say this: I'm not a Billy Donovan fan, but if that team, like some people say, they're going to be in the play-in, I think they're actually going to just out and out make the playoffs. But if they get into the play-in, I don't think that he's going to get fired for that. If you look at the Bulls roster top to bottom, they're not loaded with talent. They're not. That's not a talented team. Like, I know they had the lead on the Spurs, but they should lose that game. The Spurs are vastly more talented than the Chicago is.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Again, I actually think Billy Donovan has them overachieving for their talent. And look, say what you want about Josh Giddey. If this is who he's going to be going forward, then you guys have a building block. I'm not saying he could be your best player, but you have a piece to what you could be going forward in the future. Because this Josh Giddey, the one that's scoring 25 points a game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, this guy, that's an all-star caliber player. I matter of fact, watching your Chicago Bulls play, Will, I just came up with a landing spot for Ja Morant.
No, hell no.
Oh yeah,
Hell no. You want to talk about the Grizzlies ain't got no leadership. Who's gonna be the leader? Who's gonna be the leader on that team? Who?
I didn't say bring him there to be your leader.
No. And the reason why I say no is because Josh gonna have to have the ball in his hand to be effective. That takes away from Giddey.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about not giving Ja Morant the ball because we got to give it to Josh Giddey?
Right.
Is that what we're doing right now?
I'm just saying. He was giving Giddey a compliment. He was giving Giddey a compliment.
To the Bulls, and all of a sudden he's better than Ja Morant. Are we serious right now?
I'm just saying. you take away from Josh Giddey, and you have to have. Yeah, and you have to. And Ja has to have the ball to be effective.
Josh Giddey will have double-digit assists.
Right. I think Will. I think
facilitate more.
Josh Giddey will, on a really good team, is your second or third option. If Ja Morant goes there, he kind of puts Josh Giddey in his right role as the secondary guy behind him. It doesn't take away from Josh Giddey getting his assists, getting his rebounds. I still think Josh Giddey will give you around 19, 20 points a game, but with Ja on there, it gives you a guy that can drop 30 on a given night. They have nobody like that on that roster right now.
But it gives me kind of a headache to see what the Bulls will have to give up to get him.
Not much. Memphis is trying to give away for nothing.
Facts. If you can keep your best player, which is Josh Giddey, you're fine. There's nobody on that Bulls roster that's untouchable.
So you mean to tell me we can get rid of Patrick Williams?
Yeah.
So
I'll do that.
Last night, I feel like it's scary how good Victor Wembanyama is. So they're down 114, 111.
Yep.
7'9", 8'4" Wemby goes down the court and
he said 8'4".
It's a 27-foot three. They block a shot. Wemby gets the rebound. They walk down. He gets another three to take the lead, and then he affects the next shot by the Bulls. I can't. He's an alien, and it was very obvious how good of a basketball player he is. Mo, how long is it until he's the best player in basketball?
I don't think as soon as a lot of people think it is. I think it's another couple of seasons. Because when he's on the move, when he's moving, he's almost unguardable.
Right.
But when you try to put him in a spot like on the elbow or in the post, he becomes a lot more guardable because people want to talk about his size.
Right.
Well, he's not. He's tall. He's not big.
Right.
There are guys that are almost a foot shorter than him that are physically stronger than him. So when he's on the move, unguardable. But he is guardable if you're physical with him and you can touch him. So I think still a couple of more seasons. It's funny, we were talking about that on N1 yesterday, where I think Wemby's in the top 5 for MVP. But the usual suspects are still the best players. So he's not ahead of Joker. He's not ahead of Giannis. He's not ahead of SGA. I think he's on his way, though.
I think he's a lot closer to Giannis than you do.
Well, he's more skilled. Here's the thing about Giannis. Giannis is an anomaly because there are guys more skilled than Giannis, right? If we're going on, and that's the confusion. Anthony Davis is more skilled than Giannis. Like, there's a lot of bigs that are more skilled, or players that are more skilled than Giannis. What Giannis is picture Shaq 60 pounds lighter and can be on the move all the time. Right. Giannis is they're very similar in what they do. It's just that Giannis does it better than Shaq did because he can initiate offense from off the bounce. Shaq had to do everything in the restricted area, but look, Wemby's more skilled than Giannis right now today. There's no question. But if you match them up, Giannis will overwhelm him because he's just physically more powerful than Wemby is. Like, I think Wemby's close, but I think he needs a couple of more years before he becomes the guy.
Key, Will, I'd like to ask you guys both this question. If I'm giving you for the next 2 years, that's it. The next 2 years, player A or Wemby, I'd love to hear where you guys stand for the next 2 years. I'm not talking about the rest of their career. Rest of their career, it's easy. You're going Wemby versus anybody. I don't think there's anybody in basketball that you would take. Okay, Mo, stop me.
No, I'm looking at Damian and say John to the Lakers. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I don't want him neither.
For the next 2 years, rest of his career, I don't think there's a more valuable player than Wemby. But for the next 2 years, I'm gonna start you off, in my opinion, with some easy ones, and then I'm gonna ease into some of the tougher ones, in my opinion. We'll see. Next 2 years, do you want Wemby or SGA?
One SGA.
Yeah.
SGA.
Keith?
I'm gonna take Wemby.
Oh, next 2 years, do you want Wemby or Joker?
I'm taking Joker.
I'm
I started with easy ones, and then
I'm taking Joker.
just
Yeah,
like,
I'm
screw
taking
it, I'm
Joker.
gonna go Wemby
Yeah.
now.
I'm taking Joker. Yeah.
What did you say, Keith?
Joker.
Joker
Okay.
for me.
Next 2 years, Wemby or Luka?
I'm taking Wemby.
Yeah, I'm taking Wemby.
Yeah,
I'm
taking
taking
Wemby
Luka.
over Joker. I mean, over Luka.
Luka. I'm taking Luka.
Really?
So all three of you guys took Wemby?
Yeah.
I think Luka is in the best shape of his life, and he's playing incredible basketball right now. Mo, you watch him more than I do, but go ahead, say something. I want to hear your opinion.
Look, Luka's a great player, but I think it's difficult to win a championship for Luka as your best player.
Okay.
Now I don't want to confuse win a championship with winning. If Luka's your best player, are you going to be good? Are you going to win 50 plus games? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's difficult to win a championship with someone like that who's so ball dominant, and he gives you like so much of what he does offensively has to offset everything he doesn't do defensively.
That's fair.
I think it's difficult to win
Very
with that
fair.
guy.
And then look, Wemby over Luka, Wemby over Joker.
That's
Wemby
because
over
Damian
SGA.
Damian don't know basketball, so we're not gonna go there.
That's fair.
We also can't count
right.
recency bias as well. Don't look at recency bias either.
Last two players, Wemby or Giannis. Next 2 years.
Still on Giannis.
I'm still
I'm
taking
going
Giannis.
Although I think that if Wemby's going to have more success over the next 2 years, but I think Giannis is still going to be the more dominant player.
I think that Wemby is already ahead of Giannis now. I believe that. Maybe I'm tripping.
I don't think you're alone. I think a lot of people feel that way.
And then the last one, and I kind of want to bring this up because I think he's the top 6 player in basketball. And everybody's probably going to take Wemby, and that's that. I've seen such incredible strides from Cade Cunningham. So I'm going to go Wemby or Cade Cunningham. I think Cade Cunningham's 6th best player in basketball now.
I'm a big Cade Cunningham fan, so I'm gonna stick with Cade. I think that Cade, the crazy thing about Cade is he's still getting better.
Oh, unbelievable! I got firsthand watching that guy kick the Sixers' ass Sunday night, and then he goes on a back-to-back and wins another one in Washington last night. Granted, Washington's not a great team. On a back-to-back after what he did in Philadelphia to go on a second road game and win that. Wemby or Cade? Will?
That's a tough one. I got Cade. I love his potential. He's not done.
Just remember, go look at like I knew like somebody was going to bring up right. He shot 45 times, only made 14. Granted, but I want you to look at Detroit's roster.
Yep.
Their second leading scorer is Jalen Duren, who's a really good big, but he's more of a rim running big. He's not the kind of guy that you just feed the ball to in the post and he can score. Cade Cunningham still doesn't have a running mate on that team. After Jalen Duren, everybody else averages 12 or 11 points per game. They don't have a lot of firepower. They're still waiting for Jaden Ivey to get fully healthy. Once Cade Cunningham gets a running mate on the wing, on the perimeter, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over in the East.
Yeah.
Next 2 years, Cottrell. We're asking 6 players. I have Wemby for the next 2 years, but Cade, I think Cade's the 6th best player in basketball.
I don't disagree with that.
So SGA, Joker, Luka, Giannis, Wemby, Cade. Whatever order you want to put them in. I think he's 6. Last but not least, I have one last thing on the agenda, and it's NBA related. Last night's Dallas Mavericks Milwaukee Bucks game had everything. Great basketball game. Cooper Flagg had his best game of his rookie career.
Facts.
But the crowd in Dallas is what I would love to.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah.
They were screaming, fire Wemby, fire Nico. It was deafening. The whole crowd in unison yelling, fire Nico. Guys.
You got to be all sorts of dumb for doing what you did and expect not to get backlash from it. You can't. But particularly with AD being hurt now and not playing, but you cannot expect not to have that type of backlash coming at you. That fan base was correct. They have every right to be upset. Every right. And then you put Cooper Flagg in even a worse spot. I'm glad he performed the way he did. He's playing point guard. Okay. Come on, man.
I'm going to do something that's probably unthinkable, but okay. Go ahead.
If I'm Nico Harrison, I'm not even sitting courtside or where I'm sitting at. I'm being a booth. I'm being a press box.
I'm sitting at the house.
I'm not showing my face there. No. And then AD been eating pancakes. Like he done put on some weight. Looking like Jigglypuff.
No, she didn't go there.
I don't want to talk about looking like Jigglypuff. Brandon Graham looked big as shit last night.
Yeah.
You're like me. I'll be I'll see if Mo agrees with me, but I'll be the odd man out here. If Kyrie doesn't get hurt and AD is there, would you rather have Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis or Luka? Because you're not getting Cooper Flagg if they don't trade Luka.
Right.
So would you rather have Cooper Flagg and AD or Luka? I don't think what Luka did was that bad.
No, I get what you're saying. I guess the problem was I don't think the deal was a good deal. Like when you made that deal, you should have got back Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves. That wasn't a good. They should have got more for Luka. Right. They should have got more. That was the problem.
Right.
And so we're going on what if, but that's the problem. I'm going to give Mavs fans credit because they're clearly NBA knowledgeable. Because most people wouldn't be tripping like this early in the season, but you see the teams. Anthony Davis is 32, but he looks more like he's 37.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, when Kyrie get back, but you got to remember, he's coming off a horrific injury, and he's 33. What do you think Kyrie's going to look like going forward after this surgery? Because his whole game is predicated on his quickness. That the reality is their present doesn't look very bright. They're booing because they're looking and going, so basically we got Cooper Flagg and a bunch of old dudes that are on the other side of their prime. Yeah. That's not good. That's terrible.
And with Klay Thompson struggling the way he's been struggling, that compounds it even more.
Yeah, right now in that relationship, Meg is a better shooter than Klay.
Because they would have made the playoffs, Cottrell. If Lucas stays on the team, they were in the playoff picture.
Yep.
That's why. And you did tell me that Brandon Graham looked big when he got signed, and I didn't realize it until I seen him on the field last night, and he looked like me. Just it is. I'm a BG.
And it don't help also that you got that walking trash can of D'Angelo Russell. It don't help. Walking trash can.
That's our time.
He's already made some crazy moves. You know what? The best thing he can do right now is set Cooper Flagg up for success. Trade Anthony Davis.
Yes. I agree.
You're not wrong. That's all our time today. Fun show, quick show. Always good talking sports with y'all. What's the next time we'll see you? Monday night on Sports Report?
Next time you'll see Monday, I will be right here, Coffee Sports in the morning, and later on that night for Sports Report.
Perfect. Key, Passion Appreciation Friday night, right?
Yes, sir.
Love it. By the way, I love that trio. I don't get a chance to listen to those live. Friday nights are a different night for me. But I love the trio of you three, you, Kyle, and Jory. It's fun. It's fun to listen to. Just want to give y'all a shout out when I can give you. I'm gonna start commenting so you can see that I'm listening in the morning. But I don't like commenting when you can't see it, like during the show. Like I'm getting mad. I'm yelling in the chat. I'm like it's not live. I'm like, what am I talking to? I'm talking to myself. It's like a wall there.
I gotta get Jory on Sports Report. I got to.
Mo, same bad time, same bad channel tomorrow morning.
For sure. You'll see me tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, and then Brett and I are going to be doing a little bit of the morning show with a hint of Meaty Boys in it. So look forward to it.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week, this morning to Coffee and Sports. Any final thoughts?
Just appreciate the chat and all the energy. Thank you guys for coming out and joining us during the show.
I love this, by the way. Just wanted to give you that response.
Love Lash Legend. Love Lash Legend.
About time they doing something with her because they dropped the ball with her and I forget her partner she had. They dropped the ball with that, so why not? I'm all for it.
Yep, me too.
They need to change her name.
I do not like the name. I don't like the name.
She sounds like a comic book character.
She sounds like a porn star. I don't like it.
I didn't want to say that on air mode.
I didn't want to say that either.
Any other final comments, y'all?
If anybody can get away with that, it would be Mo.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Coffee and Sports. I'm the NFL Genius. That's William D. Morgan. Guy, Key in the building. I was trying to start that, but I didn't. Key in the building, and Mo better. And we are signing out.